Hey guys, I'm in Perth now with my family. I thought the smartest thing to do given what was going on was to just come home. I wanted to do a video today about a very controversial topic. I wanted to talk about contraception, something that I have wanted to do a video on for a really long time. What I first wanted to say is this is my story, my opinion, and in no way am I suggesting anyone to change, come off, try a new contraception or come off them altogether. I'm not here to be a doctor, I'm here to share my experience, and an experience that really did shape my life, and it's made a huge difference to me, seeing as I was on contraception for 10 years and I'm only 24. Contraception is one of those taboo topics where we basically are told we can't talk about it, and that is because people believe if you do talk about it, you are then making other people that are impressionable, telling them basically what to do. Now, I believe that knowledge is power, and I believe every woman should be able to make an informed choice about their health. Now, there's enough people recommending birth control, enough doctors like Dr. Jolene Brighton I spoke about in my hormones video, who can tell you everything you need to know about contraception. But I just wanted to share my experience with all of you because I'm sure some of you can relate to it. I would love to chat to you guys about your experiences and just find something that really works for everybody. It's had such a huge impact on my health. The cockatoos are literally fighting. Can you stop? So I'm from a family of 4 girls. So my mum, my 2 older sisters, and myself. Every single one of us has struggled with contraception. Each one of us was on the pill, different types of the pill, had issues with the pill. My older sister has had the bar in her arm. My mum and I both had the Mirena. All of us experienced a lot of issues and all aren't able to be on contraception. So when I was 14 years old, I had my period and I was getting it every 2 weeks, and my mum obviously was like the best solution. We went to the doctor and the doctor said the best solution is to put it on a low dose pill. So I went on the pill from when I was 14 years old until 19. I basically regulate out my periods, and it definitely did that for me, which I found was really great. Throughout that time, I did find with the pill I had a lot of water retention. I did feel quite moody, but other than that, I can't say I had that many issues specifically with the pill. I know so many girls are on it at the moment, and I tried a lot of different ones. I did have some sickness, some nausea, some stomach sensitivity, but other than that, I had kind of all of the normal side effects, I guess, of the pill. It wasn't until I came off the pill that I found I had quite a few issues where I just generally didn't feel very well. So I had the IUD put in when I was 19 years old, and I had it up until the 31st of December 2019. So I had it for 5 years because I wanted to start 2020 without mood swings and all the other symptoms that I had. During those 5 years, I did have quite a stressful time. I was doing a lot with work. I had a lot going on with family, with relationships, friendships, you know, traveling. I had so much going on, which all definitely contributed to a lot of symptoms and the way that I was feeling. But it wasn't until, I guess, 3 years had gone by that I'd had the IUD fitted that I realized a lot of symptoms that I had. So my hair was falling out. I started getting really thin hair. I felt very anxious and very depressed. And definitely what I was going through at that time definitely contributed. But I tried to really tie it back to when did this all start, and it really tied it back to the first 6 months of when I got the IUD fitted. And it wasn't until I got it removed, my body freaked out because it was so used to being on birth control, and that was at the time when I was going through, I had my skin condition and I took it out, and it just made me feel even more depressed, so I put it back in. So I had it back in for another year, and then I got it taken out at the end of last year. And honestly, it wasn't until mid last year that I really realized how much it was affecting me and my health. And it wasn't until I reflected on that 5 years and I took into account everything that had happened and everything I had been through. And the only common denominator, the only thing that had happened in that time was I'd had the IUD put in. And by nature, I'm not an anxious person. I'm not a depressed person. I've always had thick, lush hair. Before, I guess, my gut story and my antibiotics and everything, my mental health still was definitely not what it used to be. And basically by the time by the time it almost got too bad, mid 2019, I just realized my body started being like, I don't want this in me anymore. And I just was so over feeling really depressed. And I'm not saying that everyone gets an IUD is going to feel really depressed and really horrible, but I know that it was a huge contributor to my health because it's just not part of my nature. And I know I had a lot go on, but it was a consistent symptom over 5 years. So I got the IUD taken out on the 31st of December. And now I know a lot of girls get worried about coming off contraception. Not that I'm telling any of you to do that, but what I managed to do was I managed to prep my body with Chinese medicine so that the herbs, basically what the herbs do is they work to balance out your hormones and to get your body into a bit of a rhythm before you take it out. Then when you take it out, you keep taking them, and it basically just helps to balance your hormones and helps your body cope with the drastic changes that it's going through at that time. Now, 2020, there's been bushfires, I've crashed my car, we've now got COVID, there's been a lot going on. And I have to say, I am coping with stress and uncertainty so much better than I was before I had the IUD in. And it generally was 5 years where I just didn't feel like myself, and I thought it was modeling, I thought it was relationships, I thought I'd gone a little bit crazy. I honestly just couldn't figure it out. And yes, I had a lot happen to me. I'm not saying it's 100% the IUD and the IUD is the devil, but I didn't feel like me, like something just felt off, and there's nothing that drives you more crazy. And yeah, I realized that it definitely was the IUD, and I've had it taken out and I feel so much better. And I just want every girl that watches this and every woman that is going on some form of contraception to really find one that works for them, and kind of don't do what I did and feel off but just blame it on all these other circumstances. Aside from everything going on in 2020, it's genuinely the first time that I've really felt like myself, and I'm just so happy and so grateful for that. And I do think a lot of that is down to, actually no, I don't think it's down to what's been going on. 2020 has been a shit show so far, but I'm coping with stress so much better, and I'm so much more calm, less anxious, less depressed. I definitely think it has a lot to do with the IUD, and I do think coming off contraception was such a scary thought for me, especially because I know all the girls in my family, we just react really poorly to contraception. So I was really worried, but I mean, I'm in a relationship, we've been in a relationship for 2 years, we've had this conversation, and we take the precautions that we need to. I want all women to know that contraception is their choice. Don't feel pressured that you have to be on some form of hormonal birth control. You just need to choose something that really works for you. And unfortunate for me, I've tried the IUD, I've tried so many different types of the pill, my sister's tried the bar in the arm. All of my sisters, we've tried something and they haven't worked for us. So right now I am using a method where you track your period, you know when you're most fertile, when you're not fertile, and temperature and everything like that, and the barrier method. So that is my choice at the moment. That's what works for me. And I'm not saying that you should do what I do, but I know that I wasn't myself when I was on the IUD, and I've spoken to a lot of girls that have had different circumstances because of different kinds of contraception. And I do think that contraception is pushed onto a lot of women, but I also think contraception has saved a lot of women and put a lot of power into women's hands, especially in the past when contraception wasn't a thing. It's been a blessing that we have access to this now, but now it is our choice as women to really take the power back and really make a conscious choice about what we want to put in our body, and just make sure, I don't care what it is, that it works for you. That's my story. I spent 10 years on contraception, and that this is where I've come to, and I'm really happy with that, and I finally really feel good. I feel like myself. I've got other girlfriends that have been on contraception for 10 years and they feel amazing. I just wanted to let you know what has worked for me, my story. You guys ask me all the time, and yeah, I just want to give power back to the women. I think it's your body, it's your choice, and I just like sharing this information so that you can make a conscious choice of what it is you want to do with your body. I love you guys.